Something funny just happened. Uncle Da, like a detective, was inspecting the principal's office door lock, and suddenly the door opened, almost wishing him. He asked if the principal lifted the punishment for the football star. The vice principal said that's a board-level decision. The official word hasn't come down yet, but in reality, he caught that kid toking some leaves, and the PE teacher begged for leniency, but he felt it was a serious. They had a spat over this, and Uncle Da was still fixated on the door lock, reminiscing about old Ted's unlocking skills. He returned to the dormitory office, hoping the teacher would work some magic. Old Ted listened and bluntly said, "This particular problem has no solution. We understand that they simply couldn't solve it. Because that's just bonkers. Stop right there, Lou dear. Honestly, you truly know that if it's impossible, it will remain impossible forever." Night fell, and Uncle Da returned home to a quiet house. His wife and nephew had gone off to recruit a phone detective. Uncle Da was feeling down, not because of the missing clues, but because looking at Ted, he could see his future self 20 years later. Aging, alone and forgotten. Even scarier is when your brain turns to mush and you can't solve any puzzles anymore. This locked room murder must have a lead, but Ted is too old, and Uncle Da is genuinely scared he might go that way too. His wife called to remind him not to forget the pizza in the fridge. Uncle Da seldom opens up, but this time he shared his feelings. He's scared that one day, he won't even be able to lift a spoon or get out of bed. "You won't be alone. Yeah, I'll never be alone. Listen, when James gets home, we're going to instructing a big happy family just in front of our home. I never envisioned you would enter my life." Uncle Da abruptly hung up, as if struck by lightning. He finally figured out who the killer was. He hurried back to the police station that night to relook at the case files, but lo and behold, the redhead was still working late. He was curious why the redhead was so eager to help. Do we really have to keep covering things up? But it seems like nothing ever happened between us. The party seems like it'll never happen. Don't overthink it. Uncle Da felt like struck by lightning, as his brother was the traitor. Little Pa was also working late this evening, and he heard everything the redhead just said. Uncle Da was blissfully unaware. He stood in front of the clue board, starting a brainstorming session. All the clues flashed through his mind, and he dissected the details repeatedly. Now he was sure the locked room murder had been solved. At 10 minutes to 9, he summoned the suspects to the crime scene. The second hand ticked away. Time was almost up. Uncle Da began to unveil the locked room murder, starting with, Ted wasn't just a math teacher, he was a riddle master. If he says the problem has no solution, then it's definitely unsolvable. What he meant was this locked room murder case, and if you keep searching for how the killer locked the door, you'll just fall into a deliberately set trap. In other words, the killer never left this office. Uncle Da explained this is the killer's clever part. Eliminate all options, and only one scenario remains. The killer stuck around after the murder, sleeping in the office with the corpse hanging there, enduring for 3 days on steely will and fabricating a camping vibe. That person is the PE teacher. Isn't this a punchline? That's amusing. How did he come out again? Uncle Da replied, "It's simple, teacher. Just walk out on your feet." Just imagine, when the door swings open and passers-by see a corpse on the desk, how would ordinary people react? It's exactly then, scoring the chance to escape the crime scene, when the corridor was already in chaos, who'd care about the PE teacher suddenly showing up? Seeing no one had questions, Uncle Da continued. Last night, he went home and ate a banana. Banana peels oxidize in just 2 hours. The principal's trash can had an apple mush that hadn't changed color in 3 full days. The only possibility is someone was hiding in the locked room. Testing the apple's DNA will unmask the killer. The PE teacher immediately fired back. "I ate that apple last Friday. Oxidation is influenced by multiple factors, like room temperature." "Hang on," Uncle Da told him not to rush. As he hadn't finished, the PE teacher had concocted an elaborate argument scheme for his 3 days' absence. The next day turned into a heartfelt confession, and by now, they had gotten that video. The PE teacher cleverly yet critically slipped up. The scene captured in the video could only have been witnessed at this school. And now, the moment has arrived. The PE teacher has been arrested, and the principal's case is brilliantly solved. Did you guess right? The next case will be the most exciting one in the whole series. While Uncle Da cracked the school case, his wife left Little Pa behind and knocked on the phone detective's door. What she didn't expect was, opening the door was her husband's partner, the deputy leader from the original bridge assistant team. "He?" She paused in surprise, then asked, "What brings you to move here?" His wife urged her to hurry and leave. Her husband had already quit, and they didn't want any trouble. She wanted to ask why, but he just tone was resolute. "You need to pack up and leave right now. It's no longer safe here." At the school, Uncle Da pushed open the dormitory office door, hoping to thank the teacher for the inspiration, and didn't expect Ted to want to head it up.